You might have heard about the brand new special enchants within Bubblegum Simulator Infinity. Whether they are real or fake, I'll show you how to get each one. Okay, so we are here once again in Bubblegum Simulator Infinity. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at the brand new special enchants in the new Easter event update. And these enchants are absolutely crazy, I am telling you now. Basically, these enchants aren't going to be your usual typical stat booster enchants like the looter or the team up ones. Instead, these are actually going to help with things such as hatching and also with kind of like your standard coin and gem grinding instead, which is actually really cool. Now, these are quite difficult to get, so in today's video I'm going to show you basically what you need to do to be able to get these enchants. First of all though, let's actually see what these new enchants are. So we're going to come over to the pet enchant and just click a random pet. This one literally doesn't have them. That is a great start. So let's go ahead and just select the Avernus because this one definitely does. And as you can see now, instead of it being 18 out of 18, we now have 21 out of 21. Now thankfully I have discovered all these just before I had to make this video, which is really nice. But yeah, if we just kind of scroll through, you might already see them right there. But yeah, basically let's just start with what I think is probably going to be the worst one realistically, although it does kind of depend on how you actually like to play the game, and that is going to be Magnetism. Now Magnetism basically increases your pickup radius by 10%, which is actually decent enough. Obviously it's going to be really good for like when you're grinding and things. Maybe you can have a lot of these equipped to your team and you can just go to an area and literally just get a macro doing this back and forth, or maybe even if you get enough of them you can just stand in one area and it picks them up anyways. That would be really cool, but realistically I don't think Magnetism is the greatest one, considering the other two are actually so overpowered. So yeah, Magnetism there. It is also 1 in 1,177 chance. All of them have the same chance, but yeah, Magnetism is going to be the first one. Next up we have Infinity, and you can also see the other one there as well, which is High Roller. Now Infinity again is a very cool one, and this is actually one which is actually not a permanent enchant. Basically what this does is, while the pet is equipped, it decreases the cost of your next 250,000 Infinity eggs by 5%. It does say minus plus 5%. I do believe that is a bit of a glitch, and we're going to go over in just a moment of why this might actually be a little bit broken at the moment. But it should be basically minus 5% a cost like that, and you can see it does actually stack as well. Now I do believe that means that the Magnetism one doesn't stack. So you can only actually have one of these on your team for it to actually have the effect pretty much. But yeah, you can see basically if you used to actually have a ton of these on your team, I think the max pets you can have right now is 11. So the maximum amount of decreased value you can have is actually negative 55%, which basically makes the Infinity Egg half price or more than half price, which is pretty cool, and that is going to last for 250,000 eggs, which is honestly not too bad, and again has that 1,177 chance right there as well. And then we also have High Roller. Now High Roller basically says while equipped, the next 250 eggs will gain you 10% luck, which is absolutely crazy. Now I'm not too sure whether this does also stack as well with your potions, or whether it just adds on the 10% after everything else. I do believe that is how it works. However, again, if you have the full team of this, you can basically have an extra 2.1 times luck, I believe, if you have all 11. Because of course, if you get 10 of them, that's going to be plus 100%. That right there is already 2 times. And then on top of that as well, you can also have the extra one, which is going to be 210% more luck. Wait, no, hold on. 110% more luck. There you go. So honestly, it could be really good to have a full team of the High Roller, or maybe you can half and half it with the Infinity Egg. But we're going to go over why the Infinity Egg one might not work right now. So as you can see, I do actually have a few of these on my team that I have used, such as this Ethereal Bunny right here, shiny as well from the brand new Easter update. Very insane stats. But you can see, because I have been using this, the eggs have actually gone down from 250,000 to 218,000, which is really cool that it actually kind of shows you the live update, because otherwise you kind of have to like picture it in your head and sit there and doing all the maths and stuff. So instead, it does actually show you the live amount of eggs that you still have left on the enchant, which is really cool. However, you can see over here the Infinity one. I have actually been hatching the Infinity egg, and I maybe did overnight the Infinity egg as well with this pet equipped, potentially. Don't quote me on that though. But you can see it's not changed at all. And if we just quickly jump down right now to the Infinity egg, we can actually show you that this still doesn't work anyways. So just remember the number 218,374, and if we go ahead now and just hatch 6 of these eggs real quick and come back, you can see now that has dropped by 6 from being 74 to 68. However, yeah, the Infinity one still doesn't work, which is actually really interesting. Most likely it's because it does say minus and plus, so hopefully that does get fixed soon enough. But yeah, really cool. Now, I don't have any of the magnetism because I don't really think it's a great enchant, and I wasn't really too interested in getting it on my good pets anyways. I do prefer to have like the bubbler over, well, the bubbler and team 5 over it instead, or also the high roller and also the Infinity one once the Infinity one does work. But yeah, really cool. So now we're going to go ahead and basically show you guys how these actually work. So basically, to kind of activate or be able to like kind of get the chance to get these brand new enchants, you need to come to the mastery. Now there's going to be actually 5 new levels, I believe, to the buffs mastery. So if you did actually max out before with level 15, you will now see that is now level 16, 17, 18, 19 and also 20, which you need to get unlocked. Now overall this is going to cost you quite a lot. I believe the level 16 is around like 25 million, then it's 45 million, and it gets down to like 95 million, and then the last one is 100 million. So it's going to cost you a lot of gems. Thankfully the gems multiplier has actually been increased. But yeah, if we go into the mastery right now, you can see for level 16 you can actually use 2 of the keys for like the rift chest, which is the royal chest and also the golden chest. Level 17 actually gives you a bonus on your reroll orbs, so it actually kind of gives you a chance to save them, which is really cool as well. And then also it gives you a notification when a rare rift spawns, which is basically the royal chest. And then up to level 18, this is now where you can start to get these new special enchants. So it says here, unlocks rare enchantments available on tier 3 legendaries and secrets. Now you have to keep this in mind, tier 3 legendaries and secrets, because these are the only pets that you can get these on. So like you saw before, when I equipped, I think it was that Manarium, technically that is not classed as a tier 3 legendary, so it does not have these special enchants available. So if you come over now to the pet enchanter, as you can see here, the Manarium is a tier 2 legendary. So if we click on this, you can see whilst it is going to cost me 20,000 to re-roll it, you can actually see it only has 18 enchants available. And if we scroll through, you'll notice that magnetism, high roller and infinity are not available in this list whatsoever. It's not even like they're just missing and like kind of hidden because I haven't discovered them. Obviously I have discovered them. However, if we was to come over now to this Ethereal Bunny, which is classed as a tier 3 legendary, as you can see there underneath its name, and click on it, you can now see 21 out of 21. You basically need to see this out of this /21 to be able to get these kind of enchants. And most likely, if you did have 18 out of 18 before on tier 3 legendaries, you'll basically see these kind of like undiscovered on here, like kind of blanked out basically. So that is basically a good way to get it. And yeah, now these will cost you quite a lot of gems to get. I don't believe I have any. Oh, we do actually. We've got a rainbow shot right here we can actually use. Now there's a few ways we can do it. Of course we can use our reroll orbs, however I do like to save these for shiny pets instead. We can also just go ahead and use the brand new auto roll feature, which will basically stop if you get a level 5 or a special enchantment. So if we go ahead and use that, it is going to use up our gems, as you can see here. And basically every time we get Looter 5, Bubbler 5, Team Up 5 or any of the special enchantments, this will basically stop, and then it will give you a prompt pretty much every time that you want to re-roll. So as you can see here now, it's just going to go ahead and re-roll. Most likely you will get Bubbler 5 or Looter 5. If you are lucky, you can get the harder ones like Team Up 5 or the special ones. But again, it is going to cost you quite a lot of gems, as you can see. So I would highly recommend you do, first of all, I actually get Team Up 5 there, which is pretty impressive. But I would recommend you get your mastery maxed out first, So you can basically get this last feature here. If we quickly just go back into the mastery as well, you can see that you basically do unlock auto roll at level 19, which basically gives you the chance to roll just auto roll in general. However, if you do get to level 20, you can actually then auto reroll for a specific enchantment, which is where this comes into play. So if we go back to this rainbow shock right here that we just got before, you can now see underneath all of these specific enchantments that are basically level 5 or the special ones, we have a chance to auto re-roll them. Now you do have to be careful. If you are basically looking for something like High Roller or Team Up 5, you have to choose between the one. I basically before was going through Team Up 5 and auto re-rolling, and I noticed Infinity and High Roller get skipped past without any prompt. So we will just go ahead now and select High Roller. Basically this can skip past any of the tier 5, as you just might have seen there, Looter 5 went past, and it's also going to skip past the other 2 special enchants, so it can get Infinity on it. However, it's going to ignore that and skip right past it until you get High Roller, so just keep that in mind. If you are looking for just any special enchant, just use the auto roll feature and just basically keep like starting it again when it does get to a level 5. Otherwise, if you are looking for just High Roller, then this is the perfect way to do it. Again, it's going to cost you a ton of gems, as you can see now in the bottom left hand corner. I believe we started off with like 35 million or something. We're already down to 28 million, and it does go through it very quick, so you have to keep this in mind as well. It will obviously cost you at least 20,000 per pet. However, if you have got a secret, this is going to cost you 50,000 instead, which is going to be way more expensive. But you can see, yeah, it's going to take you quite a long time. This is obviously the same with Team Up 5 before as well. Team Up 5 did take quite a long time anyways. Because of these new ones being so rare, it is honestly going to take you an insanely long time. But yeah, basically that's going to be it for how you get the brand new enchantments. Make sure you are using the tier 3 legendaries or the secrets, and then of course make sure you get your mastery maxed out as well to be able to have the best chance at getting these. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.